I
Wait.
don't have a can of soda.
Mine's already open though. Like, what am I supposed to
No
do?
deal.
Delicious.
Actually,
So
I'm gonna go
tasty.
grab a beer real quick.
Insanely tasty. Ugh. My fucking hair is not doing what I want it to do ever. I need a haircut. I need to look fresh like Wormlax.
I know, right? Like, just get the clean cut, and then do nothing with it every morning.
Or just cut like one sleeve off all your shirts.
I'm
And
not a
then you're-
replicant.
No, you're a Blade Runner.
Same thing, I thought, basically.
No, Blade Runners kill replicants.
Well,
Or
what's the
retire
fucking-
them, technically. Technically, you're retiring a product.
But there were some Blade Runners who were replicants too.
That's true. 2049. Ryan Gosling's a replicant.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
I actually thought it was pretty good too.
I
Blade
really
Runner
liked-
2049?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I heard it was good. I never saw it, though.
it was very good.
Yeah,
It
you
was,
heard it was
like,
good from me. I'm the one that told you that.
I heard it was good from other people whose opinions I value.
Oh, very good.
Hire Elo people.
I
Yeah,
heard
my
it from a
Diamond
Diamond 3
friend told
movie
me-
watcher.
told me that it was good. So
That's funny.
I still haven't seen Infinity War yet. I'm dodging spoilers like crazy.
I just watched it yesterday.
I'm watching it like Saturday.
Seeing it Tuesday.
Hey, spoiler alert, Thanos is in it.
Come on, man.
There's
I already got
a-
it spoiled that Shaggy is in it too. Like, come
Shaggy
on, bro.
from Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought that adding him to the MCU this late in the game was kind of like, you know it was equivalent to. It's like when you're at the very end of the subspace emissary in Smash Bros. Brawl. You ever played that? The story
yeah.
mode.
Yeah.
And you're at the very end and you're fighting Taboo, and then Sonic the Hedgehog shows up out of nowhere. It's exactly like that. Shaggy is the ex machina that they need to
See,
beat Thanos.
I heard that too, so I sent Shaggy a tweet, and he said it wasn't him.
Mm.
As somebody
weird.
like, did our did the stream just
Sam
die?
got it.
I got it.
I don't. I did not get. I do not
It
get the
wasn't me.
joke.
Wait, did our stream just die?
It wasn't me. I saw you in the shower.
No,
I actually
stream
know
was
that song.
fine.
I should have gotten that.
It wasn't me.
Oh. Now I get it. Okay.
It wasn't a
Frozen on the
good
show.
joke,
Okay.
but it was there.
it wasn't a
there.
good
It
joke.
was,
but
it was
was a
decent.
joke.
I
It was
liked it.
something.
I thought it was good. It was clever and obscure enough, but not too obscure for me. So I'm okay with that.
Beautiful.
Good start. 1 for 1 so far, Sam.
Hey, it's a black streamer now. It says I'm Dragon. So Michael, you're a black streamer now.
We shouldn't maybe delve into that too deep.
No, don't throw up signs. No.
That's funny.
What a good start.
Yeah.
Have we started?
Michael was gonna watch Infinity Wars, but instead he watched Black Panther again.
Great movie, by the way.
It was
I have not
great.
seen it. I get to watch it
What?
in 4 days. Well, I pre-ordered it on the thing, and so like I've already paid for it. I just didn't catch it in theater, and now I'm
Blasphemy.
upset because it comes out. I'm gonna see Infinity War before I see Black Panther. I wanted to do that the reverse way. I even went and bought Ant-Man because I was like, I want to see all these movies before.
Oh, you haven't seen Ant-Man?
No, I didn't see Ant-Man. I loved it though.
Ant-Man was great.
It was really good. Everybody
You said
said it was
you
shit.
didn't watch Ant-Man?
No, I did. I hadn't
Oh,
watched
okay.
it, so I bought it and then I watched it
Ah.
this week. Like,
Gotcha.
Baskin Robbins always finds out.
I
the
liked
best
Ant-Man
line.
more the second time I watched it. I didn't like it that much the first time, but then the second time I was like, all right, I can get behind this.
Yeah,
This is pretty
dude.
good.
I enjoy Paul Rudd. I enjoy
Yeah.
Paul
Yeah, I
Rudd
like
in
Paul
pretty
Rudd.
much anything. I mean, that's,
Paul Rudd
that's
is
no
great.
problem. All
I have
right.
to watch
Did you-
Yes Man again.
Slap in the base, man.
Oh shit, do we have the Nexus, the thing? Okay, this is what we need to have for the...
So we're all good. Everybody's got everything. We're gonna get started. We're just gonna BS with Sam until we run out of BSing, and then we're gonna move on to the rank changes. And who has those rank changes pulled up?
All of us?
Okay, because I'm gonna have somebody read them.
I mean, I'm just waiting to open my beer when you start.
That's a good idea. All right, we're gonna get started in 5, 4, Hey guys, welcome to League of Legends Anonymous podcast, episode 188. And this week I'm doing a four-man show. We've got me, Papa Smurf, as your host, hanging out with my buddy Alec. Alec, what's up, man?
What up, dude? It's a shame
Hey
that
Blake, you haven't
forgot-
started Zencaster.
I didn't start fucking Zencaster again. God damn it. Okay, here we
It was
go.
only like 30 seconds, so we're
No,
good.
we're good. We're good. That was just...
Damn it, but he forgot his name for a second. That was golden.
I did forget my name. I thought it was just dramatic pause. Is what I was going to sell that as.
I was gonna call you out on it.
It's like, wait, who is the host? Oh my gosh.
We don't know.
Okay, fuck you guys, and we're starting.
So much better on the other side.
Hey guys, welcome to League of Legends Anonymous, episode 188. It is here with your host, Wise Papa Smurf. With me this week is a four-man show. We've got Ponderous Sea Lion, because Alec doesn't get to go first now.
What's my name? What year is it? I'm old and can't remember. Please help.
That does explain the quasi-futuristic haircut. And
Kill
next
your,
we
fuck
have
you.
next we have Alec Wormlex. What's up, dude?
What's up? I'm glad you started with my name because I was really close to forgetting it on my intro. So thank you for that.
Well, that's
Appreciate
cool. I mean,
that.
a man with a wholesome haircut like yourself should probably, you could be excused for getting your own name because, you know, you're obviously quality of character and good moral fiber.
Choosing to get his haircut is different than balding, just so we're on the same page.
God.
Hey, I just have my hair permanently cut, by God.
It's about convenience.
By genetics.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can make fun of my haircut all you want, man.
So,
At least I choose to have it this way, you know?
Oh, just
With
wait,
my
Michael.
laziness.
Just wait.
and then you may have just heard the voice of the elder statesman of the LOLA podcast. He's a gentleman, a scholar, and a handsome devil. His name is Sam, just casual 9. Sam, what's up?
Hey, it is good to be back after a long hiatus.
Yeah, dude, it's good to have you back. I missed it. I talked to Ernie, by the way.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I was trying to get Ernie on the show. And you know what he said?
Said who?
He goes, do I have to? I said, no,
Ernie
you
thinks of you guys.
don't have to come on, but you totally could, given the
See-
context.
Ernie, why don't you bring in cereal? Would that be a
Yeah.
good compromise?
Well, we don't have
dinner.
we have no one to eat soup on the show
Could
right
just
now.
clang around some utensils and that'd be good enough to have him here, you know, bring about the same amount of energy to the podcast.
Here,
Right?
I've got an empty thing of almonds in my keys. Is that a good noise?
That's
Wait,
pretty
hit
good.
it on both sides.
The
There we go.
listeners, they're feeling right at home. But no, we're really looking for porcelain plus spoon with slurping noises. That's classic Lola. So, Sam, we haven't seen you on the show for a while, and I know you came on this week to make an announcement, so the floor is yours, my friend.
You know, it's funny. I totally didn't think about this part. But anyway, yeah, I've been really, really busy. Today, this episode will probably be my last podcast episode with Lola. It's been crazy. What, 4 years almost? I think we're just shy of 4 years. I think we started in June. So it was me, Blake, and Ernie, the original cast, and now we have almost all the OGs replaced. Blake will be next after, I don't know, maybe an accidental child or something. I'm not
You
really
know,
sure.
really, I feel like now that I don't have my token Asian guy, I can't be Asian racist anymore. So that'll probably be what I'm replaced for is inadvertent Asian racism.
There you
And then I'll be the new steward of the podcast and kick everyone off, and it'll just
go
my own
solo.
show.
But yeah, things have gotten super busy for me, and just really figuring out things of my future. I don't know how many of the listeners know about this, but I quit my job in October, so it's been like 7 months now, and basically been pursuing esports or the gaming industry. So with that, just really trying to fill up my time with projects and volunteering and finding odds and ends jobs or freelancing, and trying to move out to California, Southern California this summer, and we'll see how successful that is. But yeah, that's a plan right now. So with that, just Lola has become just a little too much work for me, and I really hate half-assing things, especially if I'm like the owner of it. So
That's been true.
yeah.
Like, I can attest to that. I've been trying to get Sam to half-ass stuff for years, and he's just fought it every step of the way.
He's just a full ass kind of guy,
Yeah,
you
he's-
know, and we have to respect that.
Sam likes to throw his whole ass in everything he does.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
why they call him ass first casual, and then that changed to just casual, since ass
Yeah.
first didn't really carry the ring.
Roll
to
off the
it.
tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blake knows my
quite.
origin story just like everyone else's.
He played a trash flute, ass first,
Then gave it to Manny.
then gave it to Manny.
But yeah, it's been an amazing journey, amazing ride. I cannot believe we've had our Discord and just like everything reach as far as it did. It's super humbling to have been a part of that, and it's been really fun. And I think the hardest thing for me was that if I left, the thing would just crumble, and then I'm like, okay, Sam, you weren't that important. And I'm like, okay, I can get over this. So then I give it to Blake. So, you know, if everything crumbles, it's Blake's fault. Just saying.
No, that's true. It's 100%. It will be my fault if it crumbles. But no, man, I wouldn't like. There's a couple of things I take exception in what you just said, and that's that you said you were a part of the podcast, and for the longest time, you were the part of the podcast. Like there wasn't somebody that was more of the heart and soul of this thing than you were, and through hard work, dedication, and diligence, you really kept this thing going. And I know that. You know, I tried to look back and say it whenever I thought about it, but I'm not a very sentimental person, so I don't really drop sentimentalities as much as I dropped cold sarcasm. And but I did try to stop and say that I honestly appreciated everything that you've done and being like a fantastic friend and partner in this deal over the last like 4 years. And I mean, we've rode this thing out forever, all the way from god awful sarcastic summoners till now, and I just can't imagine not having you there.
I don't know. I felt like I peaked at Sarcastic Summoners.
Well, I mean, yeah, you were the highest elo person on the podcast at that time, right?
Oh, wow. That is true, actually.
So maybe
that's
you
weird.
did. Maybe
It all
you
goes
did.
back
have
to
changed.
sarcastic summoners. When
Yeah.
you guys were all there, I was on there as a 12-year-old kid. We were all just talking about League of Legends. It was a good time. Wait, that never happened. I was definitely not around at that time.
Actually,
but-
this is a perfect time for my second announcement. I will be joining Sarcastic Summoners.
Full
It's gonna be
time.
amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
full time.
Well, I thought you were balancing that and the Baghdad Software podcast.
secretly.
Yeah, secretly managing both of those. But no, like, you know, I understand that you are focusing more on things that have to do with kind of esports and things that will actually draw attention to your like profession and career. And all truth aside, LOLA is not that. Like, we have a niche of people
What?
that we've tried to help, but we're not mainstream type of dudes. Like, we've made a community. We're a community of people, but that's not like a resume builder. And I want you to share some of the things that you've been doing that are. Like, I know you've worked with Weldon, and you talk about that for a minute.
Actually, I would say that I disagree with what you said. LOLA has been an awesome thing that has built my quote unquote resume, just because doing anything outside of work, like officially a little more than a hobby, is actually really hard to do, and a lot of people just can't do it, or a lot of people stop after 2 weeks. I mean, we talked to no one for a long time, for a few episodes, I'm pretty sure, except like our mothers and whoever who got sick of it after the incessant swearing and
Well, I mean, to
spoon
be
to
fair,
bowl clanging.
to be fair, most of the time I was talking to your mother, it wasn't about the podcast.
There you go. That's why my mom unsubscribed. No.
Yeah.
So LOLA, just building LOLA with everyone has been awesome. It's helped me grow just like my skills as well. Like if I'm talking about it selfishly and like how it benefited me. Like I learned a lot about just podcasting, how to work with people, how to manage people, uh I learned how to do things wrong a lot too, just because it just takes a while to figure things out. And because of those experiences, it helped me do other stuff and make some connections. I mean, beginning of 2017, I made connections with Weldon for the first time and did his podcast there. And that's where after I did that, I'm like, okay, I could do this kind of stuff for real, because I was waking up at like 5 in the morning to do it before work, and then coming home, spending time with the family or my wife, and then working on it till midnight after like they went to bed or she went to bed. So like just through the whole journey of Lola and how that opened doors, like recently I've been working with Travis on Hotline League, just like editing, getting his audio podcast like up and running and helping him post some social media stuff. But besides that, like I don't know if I can officially announce it, maybe tomorrow or something, but I'm joining like a small esports organization like in Europe, so I'll be working remotely with them that are involved in like FPS shooters. So it's opened up a lot of doors, and it's because I'm not just being like, hey, I'm passionate about things and I want to do it. It's like, hey, I've shown that for the last 4 years I've been passionate about something and created something from it and created a community, which is by far the best community online. And yeah, I think there's a lot of things up in the air right now with like what I've been doing. But yeah, like I worked with Walden for a little bit and working with Travis a little bit now, but just really trying to see what I can do and how to get really involved in esports. Yeah.
So Sam, you do realize that if you ever need a reference, that you could totally put me on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. On paper, I'm a really good reference, and then if they don't get to know me, then that's even
And you're
better.
golden.
Yeah, no, it's even better. It's like. Man, this guy's a young with it lawyer, and he's recommending Sam? Okay, this guy must be the bee's knees. And then, if it's a short phone call, I won't say things like the bee's knees.
Everybody just please understand that this man is actually delusional. There's something deeply wrong here. Just as long as everyone listening is aware of that.
I
This
agree,
is
Michael.
not okay.
He still hasn't used me as a reference. You're right. I don't know what's the matter with Sam.
I keep
days,
forgetting. My bad.
But
I'm guessing when Sam sends them like the podcast to look at, they go, "Oh, maybe we should listen to this one again." No need to listen.
No, not that one. Not that one. The other one. But no,
There's one with just Sam and Ernie. Just send them that one. Just those two.
I don't know how
think
much better that
that
would be. Yeah.
But I mean, no, it's cool. Like I imagine that you probably have a lot of experience managing like difficult people and personalities like Michael and Alec, and
Okay,
how hard that would be.
Don't bring Alec into this. I am a difficult personality, but Alec is agreeable as fuck. So don't drag him through the mud like that. Come on.
Yes, thank you.
It'll be so much easier to work in a gaming house with high school students now. It'll be so much easier. I've learned so
Fuck you,
much.
Sam. Suck my dick. Fuck
You defended him, dumbass. You gave him the door to slam in your face. You just remember that.
That included everyone, not just you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Just
gave
'cause
him
most of the
literally
people there.
I gave him literally no rope to hang me with on that one. So, but I mean, I can imagine like esports always has kind of skewed young, and we are not. So like, what we've done here in the community we built does kind of skew to the fact that you can relate to people on that kind of interpersonal level. And I don't think in 4 years of Lola I've ever had someone like complain about you. Right? Like, I've got my share.
Me neither. I've
And then
never had anyone complain
Michael
about
got
me.
a review literally tagged "Yikes." That happened
First week.
the first week. So
Fucking
Wow, for us to
yikes.
get reviews.
yeah, a review is better than no review, I guess.
Hey, we've gotten 3 since I joined. That means I'm doing something. I mean, granted, they're the 3 lowest sum reviews that you've ever gotten in the history of this podcast over 4 years. But
Every show needs a villain, Michael. You're like our Thanos.
yeah, like just cop some Infinity Stones real quick.
Well, it does kind of explain the ball sack shaped chin that you have.
Like that doesn't even make sense. I don't even have a.
Oh,
butt
sorry.
chin.
Spoiler alert. Michael has Thanos' ball-shaped chin.
That's not a spoiler, and it's not true.
You have to find out on our YouTube channel and Twitch.
Yeah, you have to go check us out live because you can't tell because Michael had the lights off to conceal his ball chin.
They're
up to
on
this
now,
point.
bitch. You can see it in full view.
It's like now we can see the pubic hairs on it.
Fuck you guys. Good. I'm
missed
glad
this.
you're leaving, Sam.
I
I'm glad.
missed this.
Get
I
outta
did.
here.
I did miss this. But so looking back over Lola in the last 4 years, what are some of your favorite like Lola moments, if you have any that roll off the top of your head?
Oh God, I love that on episode 1 when we were talking about LMQ, you decided to use the phrase "chink in the armor." That was great. That was a good
Okay.
start.
Just okay. Full context though.
We learned a lot.
Yeah, full context though. That was accidental racism, because we were talking about how they could be defeated, and I
Yeah.
said, I feel like the chink in their armor, and then I stopped because I immediately realized that could go real bad.
For context for the new players, LMQ was a Chinese team that was playing in
Full
NA.
Chinese
A full
team,
Chinese
yeah.
roster. So
Yeah. So that
Like,
was
not even
fun.
Chinese American. Like they're all Chinese. That's why the import rule came to be because of
LMQ.
part of LMQ.
Right, but that was back when we had 2 Asian people for me to hide behind.
Yeah, it was Ernie, me, and you, and we
was
still really didn't know each other.
Things are feeling decidedly more Caucasian nowadays.
Yeah,
on the
Lola podcast is just whitewashed the shit out of it.
MAGA, man. Make America great again.
I mean, when Sam's biopic comes out, they're probably just gonna hire me to play him with how whitewashed this shit is now. Honestly.
I'm trying to think of anything else. I mean,
I'll
episode
tell you,
50.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say
go
the Jeopardy / game show episode was like your coup de grace, man. That shit was amazing.
Yeah, that was a lot of work. That was fun though. I wish there were more memes that came out of this, but my favorite one still, and I think the one that lasted the longest, was the Kappa Perry thing.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
We'll have to post that on Twitter again every now and then. But for Patreon, we would do amateur sketches, and Brad, before he was on the show, he was like a huge contributor to like the community and just hanging out and just being Brad, like a really cool guy. And before he was Adept, he was Katy Perry's on. And he changed it because he was sick of everyone calling him Katy Perry or KP. But at that time, Blake drew him a hashtag Kappa Perry, and it was the most grotesque thing I think I've ever seen.
Okay, so
But it wouldn't die. It was amazing.
to be fair, I found a picture of Katy Perry, and then I tried to draw that picture on paint. And if you try to draw a picture of even an attractive woman on paint, the jaw always comes out a little bit squarer than you want.
Really, it was just
And,
the jaw. Just the jaw was bad.
No, I didn't got. And the makeup tends to look a little bit more like solid. So
And
like,
you used the finest brush too, so it was like
Right.
pencil tip rather than like something fat that kind of curves out the edges. Like every jagged line was very, very prominent.
Yeah, and so like in the makeup, you try to make it like lighter. So I used the spray paint thing and just kind of lightly drug it over, and it came out as these huge green blotches. Because in the picture, she had
God.
green eyeshadow like that over her eyes, and it just came out real mannish and real like Frankenstein monster. And but then if you put it next to the actual picture I was using, you're like, yeah, that's all right. It's pretty good for paint. But in the absence of the context of that picture, you're like, holy shit, what happened to that guy?
It was terrifying.
It was a terrifying fucking picture.
It was
But
absolutely amazing.
yeah, it never died. It did not die.
Couldn't burn it with fire. It is now in the Discord chat.
We
I
threw
don't know if I can
garlic and
post it
holy
in.
water at it. It just did not go away.
I don't know if I can put it in the Twitch chat. That's unfortunate.
Oh, I probably can. Hang on, I'll find.
That's actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Oh yeah.
Oh, is
Because
it?
you're not staring at it long enough.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, it's very bad.
I mean, look at it in the eyes. The one eye that's much bigger than the other, and the
It is-
blush that looked like someone punched her in the face instead of blush. You
It is
know?
very unsettling. It is very unsettling. But I will say, for paint, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt on that one.
Like I said, if I could find the original picture of Katy Perry that's based on, then I would put it next to it, and you'd be like,
Hopefully, you won't be able to
Oh.
find a picture that's based on. Hopefully, nothing came. Nothing. No.
I tried to find that picture like months later, and the problem is there's so many new pictures of Katy Perry that are uploaded to the internet at any given time that it like got buried.
No,
And
Katy Perry's
I can't
PR
ever find
team
it.
was like, "Wait, this was created from this picture. We must remove it from the internet. Disassociate from it."
He's a true fan. By the way, the Twitch chat is requesting that Michael, you need to turn on your light. They think you're.
You didn't read the entire message. It says, "Hey, hashtag cute boy Michael, turn
With an
on your
eye,
damn
boy
light."
with an eye.
Yeah.
Boy with an eye.
yes,
How
please,
can I
cute
How could I
boy.
refuse a request like that? But no, I'm not even gonna turn on. I don't want to stand up. If something happens and I miss it because I'm turning on the light, I don't know what I'd do. Somebody in the Twitch chat asked, "What about when Ernie mained Aatrox for 4 games and was an expert?" I never saw
Yeah.
that, but
I forgot that. Okay, so back when we used to Riot used to release new champions like all the fucking time. And that was a few seasons ago. It wasn't like season 2 where you'd have a new champion every couple of weeks, but it was like you get a new champion every like month and a half or 2 months or something, right? Like it was pretty consistent. And they would release it, and Ernie would talk out of his ass about these champions. I mean, literally, there's no way he didn't have a PBE account. There's no way he could have played them. But he would talk as if he was like a definitive expert on the topic, and he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I know all about Aatrox. Yeah, I'm an Aatrox main now. I played like 4 games of Aatrox the other day, and I really feel like Boar Crush is the way to go." Like, you played 4 games? Like, what are you talking about? You do not have like a wealth of knowledge or reserve. He's like, so then it became a meme that if Ernie looked at the art of a champion, that he knew everything about their kit.
Yeah, you guys, I went on a date with a girl last night. We're married now, actually. If you're wondering.
I think I got her pregnant by looking at
Yeah.
it.
that sounds like a
Yeah.
typical Wormlax date. I
July.
don't let
Look
my
at-
girlfriend watch the podcast for
I mean,
that very reason.
Based on that haircut, he's probably married, got 4 kids by now.
It's
so
6.
wholesome.
He's
Thank
beating-
you very
Yeah,
much.
2 that he doesn't know about.
He's ahead. You only got 2 kids. You need to ramp that shit up.
hard
Wormlax
when
is
you-
beating you.
No, you're
When I
right.
can voluntarily grow hair, it helps the game a lot, you know?
Well, I'm like the bad guy on SpongeBob. I just flex and I grow a mustache.
Ah.
You know, so
I
just
will. You do have me
choose.
beat there.
Yeah,
like
just
what I have
choose
right
to-
now, I haven't shaved in like a couple days, and there's nothing. There's nothing.
But you guys I feel like you guys are giving me a hard time for like losing hair. I'm not losing it. It's just migrating down my back.
Oh God.
You know, like I can show you
So wait,
guys.
when
where
you're bald,
it-
does
Oh,
that mean
please,
you have an
please
hairy
show
ass
us.
crack then?
Oh yeah. I
It's
call
not
that
really the argument you wanted to
It's
make.
like critter protection.
Oh dear God.
I can shit in the woods
God.
and never get a bug bite.
Now I remember why this is my last show. Actually, for real.
Remember
this
when
is
you
why
said
it's my
that this show was good for your resume? What did you do? Like, but
yeah, this is.
I've just officially been asked if I'm legal in the podcast chat, so I think I've peaked as a podcast host. This is it. That's it for me.
yes,
Close that
ladies
voice.
and
Let
gentlemen.
me just let me talk in my real voice. Yeah, that's how I sound normally. This is much better.
Okay, you'll
Dude.
hit puberty one day.
You're gonna,
I fucking wish, dude.
you're
Feels
gonna
bad.
swipe Michael from the playground, not to the left, just from the playground. Swipe Michael with a fan.
I've
No.
already gotten to the point where when I'm picking up my brothers in high school and I'm like just chilling in the parking lot, I already feel creepy and like just like sitting in my car watching all the high schoolers. It's like I
Don't worry,
like
you
this.
blend right in. They don't think you're.
Yeah, I got. Someone was like, I was picking them up and they're like, "Oh, you need to sign out," and I'm like, "I don't fucking go here. Like, I don't need."
Michael's
to sign
like,
out
I
of
feel
anything."
creepy because I'm not in high school anymore, and the teachers are like, how the hell did you get outside of the building?
Exactly. That's how it is. That's exactly how it
don't
is,
feel
man.
too bad. When I went a couple weeks ago, when I went to pick up Chinese, I was talking to the lady who was like working the counter, waiting on the food, and she's
And
like,
she thought
"Oh,
you worked there?
No, not that. I had my swim jacket on from high school, and she's like, "Oh, are you a senior? Are you going to college next year?" I'm like, "I've been graduated for 4 years, you know." Definitely not in high school anymore.
Yeah.
Hey, at least she thought you had a swimmer's body still.
I guess.
So,
I wish I had a swimmer's body. Damn.
so clearly she was old and blind and probably well-meaning.
Yes.
You should
very
cut her a
much so.
break. Poor old lady. You buy an extra appetizer or something. She's trying to be nice, damn it.
Hell no, Chinese is already expensive. I don't got money. What the hell?
Dude, speaking of Chinese, I got a beef to pick with a Korean restaurant.
I was like, where's he?
I got,
Korean what?
I got a beef to pick with all of Korea. Your local restaurant here in Cassville nearly killed me the other day. I went to Oriental House, which is usually fantastic. And yes, it is called Oriental House. I knew Sam would cringe whenever I said it's been there for like 20 years. It's like the Apu of Cassville. It's just not. It was made before it was offensive. But so Oriental House, I went and got the hot scallion chicken, and like literally shat a volcano all afternoon. It was delicious though, and primarily vegetables.
The shit or the food?
No, the food. It was good
It was a
going
little
in. It was
ambiguous
hell
there.
coming out. So, yeah. But just want to throw that out there.
This is my favorite podcast about League of Legends, by the way.
Right.
I remember a time when I used to look up to all the podcasters on here and think so highly of everyone, and then I got on here and I realized how much bullshit and how high of a pedestal I made when it really was like below me in the first.
That's why we started community games, to really show that we are nothing.
Wait,
Prove
the
one of
shoutcasting
you.
in community games is fucking A1 though. Like,
I
Holy
fell
shit, there's
asleep
some
last week during game 2. I literally fell asleep.
There's literally a video of Blake sleeping during a shoutcasting game.
People got their money's worth that game, I'll tell you what.
straight from the mouth of Twitch chat, is this a LOL podcast or a Blake's racist podcast?
Wait, Blake, didn't you fall asleep before we were trying to record once on your couch?
Yes.
I think we're all ready,
I
and you
did
fell
too.
asleep, and we're like yelling and like calling you, and
Blake!
trying to wake you up.
Blake! And I'm like right over there.
Yeah, I think
On
so.
this couch,
That
like
happened
this.
once. I think you're like sick or something, and you're like, no, I can podcast, and you're just passed out. That was great.
Well, yeah, and you could like hear me snore.
Yeah,
Like, silent, just soft snoring.
yeah, maybe
that
around
happened.
1:30 or something. Episode 130, or I don't know.
I remember that episode. I mean, I don't remember the episode because I was very tired, but I remember falling asleep for sure. I do remember that. But oh man, those were some good times back before we were really professional. But yeah, like Alec, what are you talking about that you thought we were on a pedestal? Did you not listen to the podcast before you came on to it?
I mean, it wasn't. I definitely listened. I think I've listened to every available episode whenever you guys started like your actual website, because when I was living in Wisconsin for a while, and I live in Michigan right now, so it's an 8-hour drive from where I was living to see my parents, and I was doing that drive like decent amount because I was in college. You know, I'm a college kid. It's good to go back to see your family and stuff like that. So I think I got through like, I don't know, like something like 30, 40 episodes in a very short period of time, and like caught back up to where you guys were and everything. And it's just like,
And it
oh,
melted your brain and any sense of objectivity you had left was
I
just
thought-
gone.
I thought these guys were so good at League of Legends because I was just a silver scrub.
One
just
of
learning
them
the
is,
game.
but he might not have been on the podcast at that time. But,
No, I've
Who
been here
knows?
since the beginning, Michael.
oh, yes, man.
But yeah, I had this like notion that you guys were like amazing at the game and like these great personalities, and then I came on, and you know that was all destroyed.
Turns out we're just amazing at the game with mediocre personalities.
Yeah, that's the change that happened.
By the way, I've been climbing. Let me say, Nami is stupid OP because I can miss bubbles and I still win games. I have an 87%, maybe more now. I just went off a 10-game win streak. Lost because I had a DC to 80 carry who was actually decent. So when he came back, we kind of fought, but it was bad. And then before that, I had one loss and then another 4-game or 6-game win streak with Nami before that too. So
Damn.
out of 17 games, I think I won 16 with Nami. It was gross. Oh, one with Leona. But yeah, she's stupid. And I climbed from gold 5 to gold 3 with her real quick.
So,
But Sam,
like,
I can't climb while playing support.
Okay, so the
I'm
e-girl champions are doing you well. Are you going full Ernie and just pretending you're a girl? Is that
The
how
secret
you're
is
getting
Ernie
that
do
elo?
that?
to
I think I
show them the
missed that.
pictures beforehand. You show one
Oh.
picture and then show the second.
I don't know what
Okay,
this
so
is about.
a long time ago, we were
Oh,
in...
we need to explain this story? Oh,
yeah,
boy.
apparently
I
so.
know this.
Episode like 80? Was it episode like 80 or 90? I don't...
I think it might have been even earlier than our
Okay.
first year. I feel like it was early.
Was it like first year? Okay, I don't remember. It was forever ago, right? We were talking about climbing Elo, and for this story to be funny, you kind of have to know Ernie a little bit, and
I mean, I know Ernie.
yeah,
I'm sure not everyone does.
Ernie
but-
just occasionally he's pretty straight laced most of the time. It's pretty he'll just kind of say out there shit randomly, and believe it completely, right? So you never expect it, you never see it coming, and it always kind of blindsides your ass. And
It's
he's
a wild
not
card on the podcast.
no, I seriously he is not intentionally funny, but he's really funny.
That's what makes it really funny.
And I mean, I'm not trying to talk shit on her. I
Ernie
think he
could
would
be
tell
like
you
a
the same
character
thing.
from. Ernie would be a great sitcom character
Right.
because
Yes,
his,
he'd be like a Kramer or like
Exactly.
Is that too old? That's not too old.
That's not too.
I think
God,
everyone
that's
knows the
not too
Seinfeld
old.
characters.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
it
is
is
too old.
too
It's just
old, but
that iconic maybe. It's like slightly racist, off screen, but on screen. No.
God, I saw that video, dude. That was fucking terrible.
I don't know if that's slightly racist. I think that's full
No, that's
racist.
full blown. Yeah, that's pretty legit racist. But
That man in the audience is a member of LMQ. I think that's what he said.
yeah,
I think that was his exact words.
that's not your inadvertent, accidental racism. That's your intentional hard R racism. But like I said, it was funny because you kind of have to know Ernie. You have to know where Ernie's coming from, or how Ernie is. And we were talking about ways to climb Elo, and we had that was back when we used to really type the shit out of show notes, and that was actually one of the biggest butting heads things that Sam and I did was how much you put into the show notes and how much you just let it be unscripted, right?
Yeah.
And also good job because you've come a long way on the ability to just bullshit.
Right
I'll
amount.
tell-
Yeah, this
let
is
me
all
tell you this.
scripted.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you this. I am actually the type of person to wing it and not script or not plan anything, and this podcast forced me to not do that. You broke me, Blake. I'm a broken person because of you.
Excellent. So back
Shit,
to Ernie. So yeah, we were doing this shit, and the line of stuff we were talking about is hey, this is how you're supposed to climb, because I mean that's always been the topic of the show is how to get better, how to climb, and it was point A is be supportive of your team. We were talking. It was around the time that the dick sucking theory video came out, and that's kind of what started this thing. And that's Sky Williams.
Since been disproved.
Yeah, Sky Williams made the dick sucking theory video where you just, oh my God,
That is a
you're
good
so
video, though.
good. You're so good at League of Legends to your teammate. You do the exact opposite of Flame, is you just go over the top and
Praise them.
praise and congratulate to try to get them to play better, right? And then Ernie took that to the next level out of nowhere, and he's like, yeah, you could just do what I do and pretend to be a girl. And I'm like, wait, what? And he's like, yeah, man, I just get on there and I'm like, wow, good job, teehee.
With
And,
like, the face that's like the carrot and then the hyphen and then the other carrot.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the face that every girl who has ever played a video game uses.
right. And that's
Everyone
what
knows
it
what I'm
is.
talking about.
And so Ernie was just talking about how he basically pretends to be a girl to get everybody to white knight and play well on his team, and then that causes him to climb because it's the same thing as dick sucking theory, except you're the target of it, and like
Sorry, I'm laughing at Twitch chat.
that's the best pickup line that I've heard in a while. So we were talking about dick sucking theory, and I get, Michael, you want to test this theory?
Honestly,
Quality
person in
Lola
chat,
podcast.
male or female, I'm flattered either way.
That's
Either way.
that's a male.
It's male.
Yeah,
I think his name is Michael as well.
yeah. He's a long time
I figured.
listener, man. He's been around for a
San
while.
Fran. Yeah.
It was
San
about.
Fran.
I figured it was like 90% sure, but the 10%
I'm sorry, not San Fran.
hope was being held out. But I appreciate it in a way.
That's funny. Yeah. What else is
Sorry, I'm not
going on
gonna
That's
derail
so-
there, but like,
No, that was a perfect derail. Good derailment. Anyway, so yeah, Ernie was talking about how pretend to be a chick, and that was the first time, like, I think I just saw Sam just look absolutely incredulous at the screen. It was like,
he was Jim to Ernie's Dwight.
yeah.
Unintentionally funny, and then he just looked at the camera.
Yeah.
Okay, so no, that is perfect. He is like the Dwight Schrute of Lola podcast for like 130 episodes. You know, we'd
What
be
does that
talking
make?
about,
What does that make you? Who are you, Blake?
oh, I would
Blake's
probably
definitely
be Michael.
He's Pam. He's Pam, the one that everyone wants.
Yeah, I have less hair than Pam.
I think Michael, like, he's endearing, but he also sometimes, like, he tries to be
Which
funny,
Michael?
but
Michael
it's
Scott or
really
me?
just Michael Scott.
Yeah.
He comes off as really dickish sometimes when he thinks he's being funny.
Either that or I'm like Creed.
Bo body. We're making acronyms.
I can't scuba dive. What's this
I
think-
all about?
Sam is pure Stanley, by the way.
I'm Stanley.
Yeah, just sad face Stanley. Mm-hmm. All right.
I don't know, Blake. I like to think that you think you're Craig Robinson though from in
Craig-
the Office,
Craig Robinson. Who's it? What?
the black guy, and the moving
The-
company guy. Not
Oh,
Stanley.
the guy that hangs out with.
I don't remember his character
Zach
name.
Guy
Wait,
or
Daryl?
whatever.
Daryl?
Daryl.
Yeah.
Daryl. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I
Okay.
can see it,
Yeah.
I can see
Daryl's
it.
cool. I could do that. I
I can work with that.
I can work with Daryl.
Uh,
But no,
All right.
probably Michael Scott or I don't know. I'm trying to think of who else it would. Not the dude that played banjo, Andy. I couldn't really. That's not me. That's Ponderous.
Yes.
That is not okay. Well, he has the anger management issues, but that is definitely not me.
Did have to go to.
I'm obviously Jim. Everyone thinks that they're Jim when they're talking about the Office characters. I'm
No,
Jim.
I don't think
guys.
anybody claimed Jim.
Not of us, but like people in general. They're
I
just
feel like
you know.
Alec is Jim. Or who's the guy that like?
Honestly, none of us are cartoonish enough to be Office characters. for the
No,
most part.
there's one Office guy I'm thinking of. Hold on, I will do a quick Google search. And come
This is all
back
going to be
with this
edited out in
answer.
post. By the
No,
way.
it's not. We don't have
No.
post.
Yes, it
anymore.
is.
Sam's leaving the podcast. We have no post.
I wasn't post.
There's no
You got the other
podcast.
Sam. Other Sam is post or Murda. Josh or other
We
Sam.
need all this in the podcast. This is the beauty of this podcast. It's the chaotic
Kevin.
good.
Kevin.
Kevin.
That's who I was.
Kevin
Yeah, he's
Muggle.
the Kevin. And now I'm also going to take it back that.
Me get message crossed with less words, same time. Should I just do a full podcast like that?
I don't. Sure.
We
Use-
podcast less words.
Flash
Good
in,
communicate.
kill ADC, win game. Very
That's actually
good.
how you type in game. It's very short. Your baboon teammates can comprehend it.
Oh, there you go. Instead of thinking all your teammates are bots, just think of everyone as Kevin's, and maybe you'll be happy in games.
Imagine that
Oh.
every player on your team is Kevin Malone. I might have to use that.
There you go.
Could
My
work very
little
well.
piece of wisdom before I leave the podcast.
All right.
The
So
wisdom is just never ending.
So we've done a good bit of reminiscing. And the other thing that we had saved for the back half of this show is we're going to talk about the Riot's proposed ranked changes. Because, yeah, there's
Let's
that.
check that.
And I feel like we should, at some point in the podcast, cover League of Legends.
What?
What's that?
So-
What's that again?
This is
Man,
a League of Legends
This is going to be a
podcast.
weird one. Because you know how, like, in the intro, it'll say, want to skip the banner? Click here to go to. It's like, want to skip the banner? Click here to go to 39 minutes.
Don't you really want to skip the banner? Tune in next episode.
dude.
If you want to skip
Oh,
the banner,
click
go listen
here.
to Trinity Force. Ooh!
Oh!
Going in.
Oh!
Shots
lube.
fired.
That's funny. But no, I mean, okay, so, guys, rank changes. What's Riot doing? I know you guys have all this shit pulled up. So somebody read what the proposed rank changes actually are, and then we can
Alright.
talk about where we think it's going to go.
Making
Alright, let
game
me-
better. More people complain. Hide their bad play.
Okay, so let me skip to. Okay, so ranking up. We knew we didn't want to make substantial changes to ranked and then just announce a new system right before the end of the season. Instead, we're sharing our plans early so you can help us shape ranked, and we'll be updating you regularly throughout development. Working through the problems above, we focused on 4 key things. There's just some bullshit introductory sentence. I skipped that, or paragraph. We worked on 4 key things we thought rank should do. Give clear feedback after each placement game. So I guess that's referring to the first 10 provisional games that you play every season. Surface a diverse set of challenges, because right now it's kind of a crapshoot of where you land. You just kind of shot in the dark. But surface a diverse set of challenges throughout the season. Provide regular milestones and meaningful goals regardless of skill level. Reward. You'll get stuff even if you're not good at the game. Wow, what a good rank system. Reward deep and ongoing investment. So those are the four things they're working on. So let's go to the clear feedback. Each new season signifies a fresh start. To help with this, we reset your rank and place you slightly lower so you can reprove yourself by climbing the ladder. Historically, this meant playing 10 high-stakes placement games with little to no feedback, which left a lot of players feeling anxious. Next year, you'll get a provisional rank after your first game that's only visible to you. This is the lowest you can place at the end of your placement games. Win or lose, your provisional rank will be lower than you ended the previous season, but you'll know what to expect up. Over your remaining 9 placement games, your LP games will be accelerated, so you'll skip promotion series and you'll be shielded from losing LP since your true rank should be higher than your provisional. After you complete all 10 games, you'll unlock your actual rank and other players will be able to see it on your profile.
So basically, you get a 0-10 rank. Like if you
Yeah.
go 0-10, this is what you will get. And so that's meant to relieve anxiety in some way?
I guess so.
So one thing I hate about that actually is what happens when you go 0-3. You're said to your bottom tier is supposed to be silver 5, and you can see yourself at silver 5. Then you're like, these 7 games don't matter. I don't care. I'm gonna be stuck silver 5 because
All you care about.
and
So you're
people are
saying, like,
bad.
players
So then
that
you don't
only
care and you
about
throw your
placements.
promos.
So,
Yeah.
but that's what
Placements, I mean.
the accelerated LP gain will help with, because these wins matter for, like, they give you more LP and everything. Even though it sucks that you may have lost the first 4 and you're in silver 5, like, you still really want to win these 10 games because they'll help you a lot more than any of your other games. So
And the losses don't hurt. Losses don't hurt you. Or
Yeah.
at least they frame it that way because you're like, this is your low bar, so you can only go higher when you win. If you win
Right.
1 out of 10, I think you still get higher than that low bar.
Yeah.
But I feel like I think the system is correct. I'm afraid about what the community's going to think from not reading things and not understanding things, and then just getting tilted and being
That
like,
doesn't
matter.
sound
Yeah.
like the League of Legends community I know and like,
Yeah.
Sam.
Not
Quality-
our community.
The
The
quality
others.
informed community that League of Legends has struggled to build. I
Alright.
remember when we played with Mooney and he's like, when did Kennen learn how to blah blah blah? And I'm like, that was like
Like
8
6 months
patches
ago."
ago. And he's like, oh shit, dude, I don't ever read the patch notes. Like, what? Like, you're a fucking platinum player. You get, but no, that minor side rant. But yeah, okay, so placements are going to be like gentle mode placements. And yes, I do feel like throwing a seatbelt on, being like, this is the bottom that you can do, that people will lose hope and they will just quit.
Yeah.
And I kind of hate having that information get out because I feel like placements are naturally stressed anyway.
Here's the thing that's always been my problem with this game is that like provisionals in general, I just hate because like so much of the current ranked system is like based around like if you play 400 games, you'll even out your rank eventually. Like if you play X amount of games, you'll even out your rank, which is why it's so weird to me that so much of this game right now is like based on very short, very small sample sizes of games. Like 10 games over the course of a season is nothing. So why do these 10 games count for so much? Provisional matches, or not provisional, sorry, promo matches. Why do these promo matches count for so much more than anything else? Like 3 games, you could put a pro player in bronze and they could theoretically lose 3 games in a row. It could happen. Like it would be very unlikely, but it could happen. So I don't know why 3 games is supposed to determine anything. And like those are the types of things that I want them to eliminate from the next ranked system, more than like any of this ladder anxiety bullshit. Like no, I just want a clear method where no one game means more than another game, because that's really what it should be like.
No arbitrary little
vote.
humps
Exactly.
in between like the little 1 to 2.
Exactly.
Because like in all honesty, like when you go from Plat 4 to Plat 2, that really doesn't mean much, to be honest. Like
No,
it
it doesn't.
looks a little bit better for you if you really care about it, but to be honest, a Plat 4 player can easily be better than a Plat 2 player and vice versa. So like having those arbitrary 3 games that mean so much more in between each time getting up there, like it really is. Yeah, it doesn't make much sense.
Yeah.
So my thought is, I think if Riot really wanted to improve the rank system, what they would do is eliminate promos between tiers or divisions. In between divisions, which one's the divisions and which one's the tiers? I can never remember.
I think you're right there. Divisions are
Tiers
1
is
through
bronze,
4.
silver, gold. Division is
Okay.
4, 5, whatever.
Then eliminate the distinctions between divisions, and you can leave them in place between tiers. I don't think anybody cares to have a 5-game series to go to gold or to go to silver or to go to diamond or go to plat. It makes it feel more epic, and I'm okay with that, right? And it should have an epic feel to achieving a milestone like that, right? That's also why you should get like somewhat locked into your elo. Like, yeah, you can drop from gold to silver if you lose like 12 net games, or some shit like that. But odds are you probably won't. But I don't mind that like, hey, you got to gold. Like, congratulations. Ping. Right? Like, I don't care if you have a promo to that. But a promo between gold 2 and gold 1 or gold 3 and gold 2, this isn't a milestone. This is an annoyance.
Yes.
So this is the thing. I think this change isn't necessarily for players like us, right? If they made it a 12 divisions between tiers or whatever, like that wouldn't matter to us because we're grinding games. It doesn't matter. We understand Plat 4, Plat 2, whatever, not a difference. If they change it into like 12 tiers instead, like it doesn't matter. We just know we know that we don't care. We don't have rank anxiety. But then I think about this is a change for maybe more of the casual player, because especially in North America, we have an issue where there's a ton of people not playing ranked. And when we talk about like LCS level and stuff like that, there's a lot of issue with like a low player base not taking this game very competitively. So I think, how important is it to cater towards maybe those casual players that will only play 25 ranked games, that have heavy ranking anxiety? Because I think for the competitive ones that might be more like mid to high elo, like these changes don't really matter to us. So should Riot cater their changes to pull people into ranked play that don't want to play it because they're scared of it, or the system just is really difficult for them?
Yeah.
I want to say like I always feel so insulated from the casual players because like the community that you guys have built with LOLA is at least in terms of mindset, so much more competitive than the average player. But like whenever I meet like like if I'm just like talking to someone in League of Legends happens to come up, 9 times out of 10, that person is going to be either bronze or unranked. And like every time I've met someone from the real world who plays League of Legends, every time they're bronze or unranked. And it's like I always forget how much of the player base is non-competitive. And to me, it always boils down to catering the Q type to the players that should be playing it at the highest level. Like every change to ranked should be focused around the highest level players, because I honestly don't think that stuff like this matters to the casual player. I don't think that rank changes matter to the casual player, because they're the ones who aren't reading patch notes. They're the ones that aren't watching YouTube tutorials. They're the ones that don't care about getting better. And to shaft the people who actually like care about this game and play it competitively in favor of the people who don't.
I don't know that
I'm
that's
not a fan of
true.
that.
I don't know that that's true. Because I mean,
Which part?
that they don't care. Like a lot of people that are in silver care. They either are unaware of what they're doing wrong, or they like.
I agree.
There's like
I
a whole
agree
lot
with
of
that.
things that can hold people back that are otherwise good players, right? And so I mean, they don't. You can have silver players that play hundreds of games a season. They care.
Exactly.
They're
That's
just
my
not
point.
doing the right things to get better, right?
They're still I
So
still consider them competitive players, though.
okay. So
I'm
then
talking
that's
people who
the
play like
distinction. Is you're
40
talking
ranked
about
games a season. I don't
you're
care about those people.
right.
I
You're
don't
talking
think that
about
any system in
casual.
place should. Yes.
Casual
I'm,
players versus competitive. I want to grind ranked.
you can be
players.
platinum and be a casual player. I mean, like I know people who used to play this game super seriously and they were like diamond or whatever,
Okay.
and then they just stopped playing and now they play their placements every season and then that's it. And
Okay,
like,
now
those people
now
don't
I'm
matter.
with you. Now
Yeah.
I'm with you. Then I agree. Anybody who's like gonna play 20 or 40 ranked games and be like, "This is my rank." Okay, well it's not though, because the season's designed for an entire year and playing it out, right? That being said, yeah, I don't think a system should be designed for that. It should be designed for the climber, and I feel like StarCraft was that.
Well,
You know what I
so
mean?
my
Like,
question is, and this, I guess this will be all like us hypothesizing because we don't have the data behind it. But I feel like these changes and some changes we haven't mentioned yet can help bring those on the fence people into ranked to actually make the competitive environment better. So one of the changes that I'm referring to is that each role has their own ranking. So I could be like platinum 5 support and like bronze 3 jungler and silver 5 top laner, and depending on what you play and also in normal games, it will actually affect the MMR of your teammates. So if I'm playing a mid laner and I'm bad at mid lane, I will actually be up against other people that are around the same elo, a secret elo or secret MMR in normal games, that my bad mid laning is. So then it actually encourages people to play. It's not a huge wall that you have to get over. Like, for example, I'm thinking about like playing PUBG or Fortnite. I'm bad at FPS, and it's been hard to stick with those games. And if it wasn't for finding people to play with, I probably wouldn't be able to continue playing those games, even though like I'm like semi addicted to Fortnite, but I don't play alone because I'm just really, really bad at it. So having that access of a way to enjoy the game or help it be easier to consume kind of just sucks you in and then makes you a loyal consumer of a game or just a better competitor. Like if I ended up quitting League in season 2 or season 2 when like all my friends quit, I would have been done with this game in bronze 1 or bronze at the time. I would have never made it to plat the next season because I would have quit and I was scared of ranked. I had rank anxiety and I didn't want to play. But because of podcasts and communities, that's how I actually found a way to get better. So I feel like this is something that can bring in those fringe people, and those fringe people might actually be a lot of people that could actually make our ranked environment like more full and maybe a better balance because you're able to find more people and then matchmaking can be better. I'm not really sure.
Yeah. And I think we do have to remember that even if we feel like they shouldn't, like, it's very easily to just like get consumed with like, oh, everyone who plays League, like reads up on this stuff and pays attention when it's like we've just talked about. It's like the casual player is not like doing that, and the casual player is the core of who's playing and buying a skin here or there. So it's like they want to retain those players, and
Well,
even though it might
I also feel like they deserve to have a good experience. And
Right.
I don't think it's fair to say like, oh well, the game needs to be tailored to people who are playing competitive, but at the same time, the competitive needs to be like ranked needs to be tailored to the people
the
that are
competitive
playing.
player.
Yeah, like
yeah, I agree with that.
that's a different thing. You know, I think there's a distinction there, but I think that like the thing that bothers me about the whole role system is like I feel like that's a really good idea, but maybe I'm just jaded and maybe I've played too long, but I know Riot's gonna fuck this up.
So here's like something that just reading a little bit further that I've noticed as somebody who's been an observer of the Riot's ranked systems for several years now, like four maybe 5 years. I've been watching how their ranked systems have evolved, and every single iteration of it ends with master and challenger players at that level basically getting shafted by whatever's implemented. And it's the same exact thing here. Like that. So like someone I've played, highest I hit was Diamond 2, and when I hit Diamond 2, I was playing a decent amount with like master tier players and a few challenger players a couple times. And when you're playing at that rank, if you get auto-filled and you can't play the role that you are in, you just lose. You pretty much lose that game unless somebody else just completely goes off. Like if I get bot lane, that is a loss. I always dodge when I get bot lane because I can't play it at all.
Confirm he's
Yeah.
ass at bottom.
I can't play it, and I know that I can't play it. But the thing is, with this new system, Master and Challenger players don't get the positional matchmaking. You have one rank in Masters and Challenger. So, like, those are the people who... That's the ranking that gets shafted the most by getting autofilled. Because, let's be honest, I mean...
So wait, one
could
second.
be-
I gotta interrupt.
What's
So
up?
to answer Chat's question, he's a top.
Kill yourself.
You can imagine
I've been
earlier
hit
where
on-
that was going. But
I've
yes,
been hit
but-
on by a dude in Twitch chat this entire time. Which I mean, I find flattering. I mean, I'm not going to complain. I just love attention. It's actually a mental illness. But point being, let's go back to this. Like Master and Challenger players are now like in the exact same boat that they were in when they're the ones that were getting screwed the most by the current system. And I'm not like quite at that level. I mean, I'm relatively close. I'm like maybe a couple hundred spots on the ladder away, maybe like a couple thousand spots on the ladder away from that rank. But like, point being, like that's the elo that in every iteration of ranked gets the short end of the stick, and they're the players who dedicate the most time and the most effort and just basically play the most, and they're also the ones that are driving League of Legends content creation more than anyone else. I'm sure if you like looked up statistics for like percentage of players that create content about League of Legends based on rank, Challenger would be the highest.
So
And
I'm dragging throughout something that I do want to cover because it has come up in a ton of Reddit threads, and that's, but if you're a master player, shouldn't you have a certain mastery of the game and all it encompasses? So the implication there being, shouldn't you be able to play off roles?
no.
Okay, so why not?
That's how you prevent climbing.
So I have played against master tier players in solo queue. I've laned against them in top lane Tryndamere. All I pretty much play in solo queue right now is top lane Tryndamere. That's pretty much all I stick to. And I can absolutely shit on most anyone on the ladder who doesn't play top lane. Like if I play against a support main, I will beat them of almost any skill level. Maybe not like a pro level or maybe like a high challenger level support main would be able to beat me. But pretty much anyone who plays support, if I go against them in the top lane, I'll win. Because I have dedicated so many games to playing Tryndamere that I understand everything about the champion and every nuance and every matchup, pretty much. And
Okay, well, hold
they're
on.
just nowhere near that level.
Let me play devil's advocate because you're talking about at the highest of highs, there's a huge difference between like peak and like peak performance. I'm a one-trick pony playing my one trick, and I'm going to beat the shit out of you with it, and average player. And there's a huge difference between peak performance one-trick pony and auto-filled player,
Yes.
right? But let's try this. I'm a support main. I've played support for 5 seasons. It's part of the game in which I enjoy. I play it to climb. I play ranked with the purpose of getting better at support. I also play a pretty decent ADC. Why? Because I learned to play it to be a better support. Right? Because it's my companion role. So I can do those things. But if you take me and you put me into top or mid, where I have no reference points as to what the matchups are, the relative power spikes are of those particular champions, what lane pressure looks like when it's a one-on-one instead of a 2v2, what is like a punishable death point for a 1v1 versus a 2v2, it changes the entire fundamentals of the game. And everything that I'm good at now goes out the window, right? So the fact that I am a diamond support main does not mean I'm a diamond top. It doesn't mean I'm a diamond jungler. It doesn't mean I'm a diamond mid or ADC. So individual roles seems to address that because it recognizes that people are going to do what it takes to peak at the rank. You want to get the highest rank possible. What are you going to do that? One trick a champion in a position. It's the most optimal way you're going to do that. So given that rank is what you peak at, because it is in any system, it doesn't matter, right? Given that, this is a way to address that issue. So I can play off roles in a competitive environment and not feel like I'm shitting on my team.
No, I love the positional rankings, to be clear, but seeing it not carry over to the highest ranks is because that's where it has the highest impact on the game.
But
Like,
But that's also going to cause the biggest breakdown in queue times. Because if you have every high ranked
I
person
think
and
that
no
most-
autofills and a pool of 200 people in Challenger, you're never going to get a game.
I think that most players at that rank that I've seen have expressed that, because like I've seen games where it's like there will be 5 challenger players on one team, but 3 of them are jungle mains. It doesn't matter how good. They could be 5 pro level junglers on one team, but they're going to lose to a team full of low masters or diamond 1 players that are all on their one tricks. And I think that most people at that rank are willing to suffer through longer queue times to get games that actually matter in any way. Because so many of the games right now are just determined by nothing.
It's a balancing point on what do you consider to be a competitive game and then what's a game. Because, I mean, at some point, I don't care how perfect the matchup is if I never get to fucking play, right? You're not playing a game if I'm just sitting in queue for 50 minutes.
Yeah.
So I think there's a happy medium there, and that's why I think it's a practicality issue at the top, not like a design issue.
Yeah,
You know what I
it's
mean?
like I think my hot take is I think it is dumb to think that Riot is intentionally trying to or is not finding a solution because they don't care. I think they're not finding a solution that fits the mold because they can't find one, and it's like they're working against all odds. Because again, you only have how many players at the top? They all have to be playing at the same time. North America encompasses how many? 4 time zones, 5 time zones, something like that. Everyone has different sleep schedules too. It's just hard to find a system to work with 100 people, maybe 50 people, 20 people that they can actually take a pool from and autofill people or fill people up the correct way without having long queue time. I think it's just like it's a problem that doesn't have the perfect solution, and the best way to do that is to funnel more people and more talent into ranked.
Okay, so my concern is this, and this is like Ernie will understand this because we're both like completionist mentality people, right? If I have 5 queues and I have individual ranks for each one of those queues, right? is my ranked reward based on my highest Q?
I think so.
Yeah.
I would assume
And
so.
you know, do I have to get like every rank up to a certain thing? You know what I mean? Like the other thing is, it also feels like a way that's going to be real convenient to accuse me of being boosted. And I get that shit enough anyway. You know what I mean? Like, oh, fucking, look at you, fucking diamond support man, but you're a silver top, you stupid boosted bitch. And I'm going to be like, God damn it, he's right. And so I'm either going to have to play top to where I have some at least where I can go, yeah, I don't play top. And hey, at least I'm gold or something, so fuck off. But like, yeah, I kind of like just having one rank. I don't really
Yeah.
want to have 5.
The other thing that people are talking about that I am concerned about is the abusing the ranking you're at in other lanes, like queuing up as a top laner and like, or I guess for me, like I queue up as support where I'm technically like a silver player to start the season while I'm still like in plat or diamond in my top lane. And then when I get in, I say, hey, top laner, I know this is silver, but I actually have a ranking of diamond in my top lane. Like, let me top this game.
Yeah.
And like even
I've had that same
if
thought.
even if that doesn't always happen every game where they switch it and now you've got an unfair matchup, it also creates like an already toxic environment in the chat. Like what if you get in there and you're trying to swap with people and they don't want to swap, so now you've got this support player who is normally a top main who's like, oh, they wouldn't give me my role, now I'm gonna flame, and that kind of like I can totally see that happen.
Yeah, you're worried about a role swap meta. And then it's like, yeah, well, that's the most efficient tactic available is to role swap off of your shit roll. And so,
Right.
okay, yeah, no, I could see it. And then whenever somebody doesn't do that, they're breaking the meta and pissing off their team. No,
Yep.
makes sense. I don't know. Riot says we're going to come up with an idea to deal with that. I don't know how you do that.
I like, are they gonna make it so you can't talk before the game starts? Because that's not happening. Like people are going to talk, and you know, there's outlets to look up people's ranks besides just the league client and stuff like that. So I can see it happening. Or even if you're trying, like I could even see, like someone like me who won't try to do that. Like I will actually be like, oh, I want to work on my ADC. I want to play at a lower rank. And then someone will look you up and be like, hey, man, do you want this role? Like, I see you're really well ranked. And they're like, what if that happens? And then people are toxic
Oh,
about
like your
that.
team looks you up and puts pressure on you to play your main.
Yeah,
instead of
yeah.
your
Like,
off
what
role?
if, like, I
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, and
like,
then you're a
there's just
dick
so
if you
m-
don't play at a diamond level support or you don't play at a diamond level top because you're the
Yeah.
ADC that's playing as. Oh man, that is.
Then you
rough.
pick your ADC and be like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't see chat. My bad."
It seems like it's
Super
hard.
sorry.
No,
I
no,
suck
here's
your
what you
dick
do.
right now.
Oh, sorry, I just want to play ADC. Hee hee. Hee hee.
Emoji.
You guys are cute. XD. Hee hee.
No, my boyfriend is the one who plays top lane on this account. That's not me.
Yeah. My ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, my ex one.
Or boyfriend we're on a break right now.
I can barely fit
You
in
have
this
an
bra.
open relationship.
Open relationship. Yeah. I like the thought about it. I do think this will make me play ranked more because I'll be like, oh, now I can play 80 carry, and I'm gonna suck at 80 carry, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna get out of silver, I'm gonna get gold at 80 carry, and this is just gonna and the completionist mentality too. Like I'm gonna hit gold on jungle, okay, good, I'm done with that. Gold on this, and then like I'm just gonna find myself like, oh, I haven't played Fortnite in a month. Like that's gonna happen.
If that happens, that's a good thing. Don't worry.
Dude, Fortnite is awesome. I don't even know. Great. We gotta play sometimes.
So this is the real reason Sam's quitting the podcast. Is he's starting a Fortnite podcast?
Fortnite Anonymous. Odd.
Fola. It doesn't work as
It
well.
doesn't quite roll off the song.
And it sounds
It'd
like
just be fa, anyways.
How about
Oh,
how
yeah,
about
you're right.
the Asians only Fortnite podcast, something like that.
that's faux.
It's just
Or pho.
Fa.
Yeah, delicious.
what can we do? I don't know.
Might be onto something there.
We'll have to come up with something after this.
All right, you guys can name as a parting gift. Name my new Fortnite podcast.
Sam's Fortnite podcast sucks. That's the name. He's given us full
No, you know what I
authority.
should call it?
I
If
wield
really
the
want-
power of God to name
If I really want to make a crappy podcast, I should just call it Fortnite Radio. Then do it solo.
Man, come on, man. That's a
How
step
about-
too far, man.
How about Baghdad Fortnite podcast?
It'd be #1 podcast.
#1 podcast, Fortnite.
Did you know somebody actually stole my logo one time?
Really?
Like-
Like make something else? Yeah, dude.
Wow,
I don't
that's
even
awesome.
know what it was. It was like
Wow, why would someone steal what you made?
I don't exactly, dude.
They made it into like an anus
What I'm
cream.
Here, listen. My podcast had a lot of strengths.
Dude, I liked your podcast.
I don't know why the logo would be one that. Huh?
Maybe the first season of it.
What's up?
I said I liked your podcast.
The first season of it before it jumped the shark.
Yeah.
I'm memeing,
Literally,
like,
in
Yeah,
order
okay.
to get
it,
in
so-
order to get viewers, Michael rode a motorcycle over a tank full of sharks.
It was
But
an
it didn't
awesome
come
episode.
through because it's an audio only podcast at the time.
But I was
So
just like,
nobody
oh, man,
knew
this is so-
what he did.
All right. So real quick. Since we're like, and I think I've already talked about this on the podcast before. Since it's Sam's parting episode, Sam was actually like the first person who ever gave me any sort of encouragement on my podcast. He was a stranger because like he said he was just searching League of Legends podcasts one day, and it was like the week that I had launched, and he was like listening to the first 2 episodes, and he messaged me on Twitter, and he was like, "Hey, you got a really cool thing here. It's really different, and I like what you're doing, so you should keep it up." And it was like, that was the first time that I had ever put something out and then had like some form of interaction with someone who had heard it. So it was really cool. And thanks for that, Sam, because that was actually like part of the motivation for me to keep going and perfect my craft, as has clearly
Awesome.
happened by this point. But yeah.
you go. It's funny. I have a knack for that. That happened. When I started playing Clash Royale, which I haven't played in a while, but I found a podcast that actually is pretty big now. But I was literally their first listener because I downloaded it 2 minutes after they released. Like I searched for it, I listened to it, and I looked at it, and I was like, "Wow, this has been out for 2 minutes!" Like it was so crazy. And I tweeted them like, "Hey, just listen to like what the heck?" And then now they're actually kind of big and they have sponsors, and I'm like, where have I gone wrong? But you know, it's all good.
Didn't jump on that bandwagon.
Whenever
Yeah.
you said
Flash
Sam
Royale.
was a stranger, I automatically jumped to like sitting on your hand until it goes numb. And then
Did
my
you,
brain
Blake?
just kind
Was
of
that-
wondered,
yeah?
and then you
No,
kept talking,
continue.
so I couldn't make a joke out of it. But I just wanted
I'm
to let
really-
everybody know I had that ready, but your story went really long, so I lost it.
And what a shame it is that he
I
lost
know.
You
it.
lost it, yet you still
We
brought
lost-
it up. Just fragmented.
Just like the
I
circulation.
just wanted
in your
everybody
eye.
to know what they missed because Michael was so long-winded. There was a stranger joke in there somewhere. And
Yeah,
then
think how
also,
And it was
other-
going to be the best joke that Lola has ever had, and now we'll never know.
yeah,
It was going to be just the funniest,
totally.
greatest send-off that could ever happen. It was going to be, there were going to be like 5 lovely ladies that were also in on the joke. It was
It was
going to be
gonna-
high budget. It was going to be awesome.
It was gonna be
fireworks were gonna come out.
It was gonna be as awesome as like masturbating with a numb hand that doesn't feel like it's yours, so it feels better.
I have never done that. Have any of you guys done that?
Nope.
I'm going to now. It sounds great.
He's gonna be thinking about us, Michael.
I'm already. You can't even see on the stream. I'm already sitting on both of my hands. We're gonna double decker stranger, 2
Is
strangers.
this gonna become a Lola after dark?
Depends
what we're
on
going
how-
into.
depends on if I can get my numb hands to turn off the stream appropriately.
If
Is
you
that
want
maybe
the
it?
show to keep
Flopping him
going,
around, like,
Like
just trying to hit his keyboard. Like,
if you want the show to keep going, head over to livecams.com. We're gonna do some fun stuff.
Wait, what was that porn site you guys were telling me about that I'd never seen before? It was like
Cams?
Chatterbait or something.
Oh, yeah.
Chatterbait. Yeah.
Yep, there is a site for that. I made a
I think
little
there's also, I
account.
think, chat roulette or something. Isn't that the same thing?
Chat
Oh.
roulette is more about like actually supposed to be about like chatting with people.
Oh,
not
like
just whipping.
Omegle was originally.
Yeah, not just pulling your dick out, which is all it is now.
Unfortunate. Oh, what the anonymity.
I
of the
love it
internet
that
has
you
done
were
for
like up to
mankind.
date on what's going on with
Well,
that.
okay,
Like that is, it's devolved now.
Okay, so-
I pull my dick out to strangers
to
constantly.
give some context, I watched.
It used
a
to be about
channel-
getting to know people before you pulled your dick out.
the
you
channel
know?
that I watch. Their whole shtick is they go on here and just like talk to people and come up with crazy situations to be funny. And they almost can't do it anymore because every other person is just some guy whipping their dick out.
That's the problem we've had with LOLA podcast over the years as well.
Yeah, when we
It's
went
actually-
live streaming, it was really awkward because Blake kept pulling out his dick. And we're like,
Actually, there has been a rash of my son running butt naked through the background with his dick out.
Yeah,
That happened
Blake
last
was
night.
holding his arms
I'm
up,
like trying to block the camera so I can cover the young kid penis off the. That happened.
And now the FBI has flagged the LOLA podcast.
Yeah, we were
This
flagged
is
a
not only
while
Sam's
ago.
last episode, it is the podcast
yeah, I actually
last
made a
episode.
deal with the FBI.
Sam took a plea.
Sam's cooperating with Moeller.
So yeah, rank changes.
Yeah.
Okay,
So like, okay, the only other thing I think we really need to talk about that's at all controversial is them breaking it up into mini seasons.
Okay,
Yeah, that
your
one-
rank doesn't reset though. Your rank
Well, I
is
understand
constant.
that, but it's like little mini
Just so everyone
tier
knows.
rewards. I don't know that I really
I-
like that, but I don't know
It's
that
gonna
I
make
don't.
me have to climb faster. That's
It
the
means that you'll have
problem.
to get
I
boosted
always
3
wait.
times a year instead of once.
That's
Once
so
at the
much
end of
more
season
expensive.
awards. Exactly.
It'll stop you from being a procrastinator. I personally like it though. Like if anyone else plays like Overwatch, any of these other games that they go through, like Overwatch has been out for like almost 2 years now. It's on season 10 right now. The way they churn through seasons, and
But
it's
they've
How,
been
like,
saying
how
every
does
season,
their like
even though
Overwatch
it's so
League
fast.
work then with the seasons that fast?
it's.
I mean,
I
you
mean,
just
it's
climb.
very similar with like you have 10 placements of games, and then once you're in, like you get a certain amount of. It's called SR in that.
Listen, I used to like playing Overwatch. Me and Blake played it recently, and we wanted to blow our brains out. But like, I tuned into the Overwatch League recently, and I've never seen something that's less spectator friendly than
What?
watching Overwatch.
Dude,
Overwatch League.
isn't that bad. It used to be.
Oh
worse,
my
so I've
God.
heard, but I like
Have
watching
you
It's
it.
ever
worse than
tried
League of
watching
Legends.
competitive PUBG?
It's
Yeah, that's pretty.
I
Oh
love
my
PUBG and
God.
holy
What?
shit, competitive
Do you-
PUBG.
Are you
is
saying
the
that you do
worst fucking
autoerotic
thing.
asphyxiation to PUBG?
Yes, that's
He's
exactly.
Is
been
that what
sitting on
you
his
were doing?
hand. What else is there to
Yeah.
do?
You
know?
sit on your hand, you tie the rope around your neck.
It just
lean
feels like
back.
someone else is choking you.
Yeah. That's the double strangers. You have the one hander on the
There's
throat.
got to be a name for that on Urban Dictionary.
It's just
Oh,
Where you sit on
really.
both your hands and then use one of them to autoerotic asphyxiate yourself. Like that.
I really hope this isn't the episode.
But
my
we
mom
gotta come up with
decides
The Cincinnati Stranger, is that what it's? We have to come up with a name for that and then put it on.
There was like a serial
Yeah.
killer somewhere that just strangled the shit out of people, wasn't there?
I believe he was the Scranton Strangler.
There you go. So it'd be the
Scrotum
Scranton, it'd be
stranger, there you go.
the Scranton Stranger.
You know,
That's
there's
what
a
it would
pretty
be
good.
then, right?
There's a pretty good argument that was Toby from The Office.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I have to agree with it.
It's called the
But-
Robin Williams. Why? Oh come on, man.
Oh,
No.
too soon.
I remember that in the
Chet,
chat.
bringing it down. Robin Williams, the
Ah.
only man whose back is hairier than mine.
Was hairier than yours.
It probably still is. The
Still
hair
might
doesn't go away. It's the last thing to go.
Anyways, the rank
So,
season.
to be fair, I think Robin Williams' body is probably about 90% still intact.
Oh dear God. Anyways,
That gives me some
Was
ideas
he
for
cremated?
Lola
Maybe he was
segments.
cremated.
Can we do a grave robbing segment? Is that the content?
Hey,
That's the
Sam's not
direction
around.
that-
We
Sam's
finally
not
just
around.
got-
I feel like the approval committee has gotten a lot more lax since this
we
is Sam's last
we
show.
finally get all the podcasts together to meet and we go grave robbing. That sounds
Yeah,
like a
grave
great.
robbing.
Lola After Dark.
Before
Patreon
we
rewards.
before we went to like worlds together, now we'll just grave rob. I mean, we got that Patreon money for a good shovel and a pickaxe.
Yeah, now the
Pretty
reward
sure.
system can be. Do you need someone dug up for some reason? Like, let us know. We'll go get them for
Donate
you.
$50 for us to
$50.
afford black sweats. You know? We'll have to
No.
dress Wormlack up as a grieving widow in case we get some
This
heat.
sounds like the shenanigans
Just
for a
like,
coming of
"Why,
age story.
Charles? And then Ponders I could just
everyone's
lay
waiting
down in
for.
the dark, and they'll just be like, "Oh, it's that grieving old woman. Better leave her alone." Clearly, there's no grave robbing going on here.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Very typical.
Just one of those false alarms,
Mm,
probably
but-
teenagers.
Dane kids, they're flying.
Teenagers and
machines.
their conspicuously older gentleman companions. The lawyer
I can
from
see his
Cassville.
balding head from here.
You saw Blake? He's been dead for 15
What are you teenagers
years.
doing? What are you teenagers and one old guy doing at this graveyard? We're all teenagers. What do you mean? Blake's like trying
I'm chaperoning a school function, sir.
No, I think it's funny if Blake, if you're trying to convince whoever it is that like you're also a teenager.
I've got
like,
my
Or
I
we're
got
all
my
teenagers.
Nikes and my flat-brimmed hat on. I'm wearing suspiciously red-colored jeans for no reason, because that's what we do now. My shirt has some sort of comic or Pokemon on it that
Wow.
is doing some kind of ironic behavior that I don't understand, but probably would if I were versed in that universe. And I have a skateboard that I don't ride, but hold it ironically.
Hello,
Hello.
fellow
A
kids.
longboard.
A longboard, there it is. Longboard, skateboard.
Yeah, longboard is all the rage right now.
So
Yeah, just
do I
fast
fit in?
stiff that-
Am I?
You
Am I
also
one?
should be have a Fitbit or not Fitbit, sorry, fidget
Zing.
spinner in one hand, a fidget spinner.
I've got one of those at the
Got it
office for the
spinning.
kids.
This is the worst conversation I've ever been a part of.
Wow. You have a
And then
really-
I'll just pretend to have a natural
iPod.
hatred for everybody older than me that talks smart things, and then it works.
dark smart things.
Is that you're like the opposite of that, Blake? Like you just hate
I'll
everyone
just-
younger than you.
I'll
that
just
talks smart
casually
things.
bitch. These old people ruin the housing market. I don't care because I'll never own a house or buy one because houses are for old people.
These
And
are
I
like
wanna
the-
travel.
my life.
Wow,
walking
this-
around like they rent the place.
Yeah, walking around. Oh god damn it!
I told you, Blake. I told you we had to not kick off Wormlax. So that's why
I agreed.
I told
That's
you
what
I
I
had to-
said.
I have
He's
my
like-
moments.
He's like an age bridge gap.
Wait, I'm older
He's
than
not that
Michael.
much
What
older
the
than-
fuck?
Well, how old are you, Wormlax?
I'm 23.
There you
Okay,
go.
you're kind of older than me, but not really.
He's a different generation than you, Michael.
I don't think he. Well, maybe he is actually.
A
Maybe
good
you're a
one.
millennial and I'm
Gen
Gen
Y or
Z.
Gen Z or whatever it is.
I'm
I think
like
I think I'm
just
Gen
old.
Z.
I'm just old enough that I remember when there weren't computers, but just young enough that it still wasn't that long until I got that whole
Yeah,
wave of
same.
technology.
Basically,
Yeah.
basically same.
I remember when we had home phones.
I had one of those. Come
Yeah,
on,
so did I.
it's like
Yeah.
Not that old. Come on.
it wasn't a
Or that
rotary
young.
phone. It wasn't a. I never used a payphone before. I'm not that old, but you know.
Oh, I did.
yeah,
I was actually one of
bet
the
you did.
pioneers that found out that you could call your parents from a payphone, and they'd be like, "Say your name," and you'd be like, "Mom, come pick me up for the basketball game. It's gonna be," and then it would click off, and then they would decline the charges.
That's some
Yep.
200 IQ.
I was
Payphone
next level,
technology.
dude. It's like, "Mom, basketball game. Come pick me up right now," and then it would cut off, and then my mom would decline the charges. Come pick my ass up, and I wouldn't have to pay the quarter. In your
Perfect.
face, AT&T, you stupid bitches.
Mr.
Got
T's coming for you.
Like an 8th grade Blake Fields kicked your system's ass.
Mr. T will come for you.
So,
Collect that collect call.
all right. So let's get out of here before Michael gets perped on by Twitch chat any harder.
Gang, gang.
So, anyway, Sam, do you have any goodbye remarks you want to drop on everybody before we go?
It's been a pleasure. It's been super awesome. I cannot thank everyone that listens to this, everyone that has listened to it, and everyone that's just around for just like being willing to listen to what I have to say or we've all created, what I've done. Like, I really, really appreciate that because I don't think I deserve any of it, but it's really cool that we've been able to create something just, I think, really, really awesome, like community games and just people to talk about League and enjoy League a little bit more because this game sucks by yourself. So I just, yeah, thanks everyone. And thanks for everyone that's been part of the cast too, especially because you guys have been both a thorn and a pleasure to work with. But it's been real. I guess I'll be around every now and then just to play. I know I haven't made it to community games in a while, but I will try to make one of those. Yeah, I'll try to be around. I'll be available. Who knows? Maybe I'll every now and then jump onto the podcast or something, just so I can, make sure that Blake can safely say racist Asian stuff every now and then.
Good. I was
He
worried
needs
about that.
he needs an outlet. Everyone
Really,
needs-
I was worried.
Maybe you need to make a soundboard out of me, so every time you slip up, you can be like, "Oh, Sam's here. It's okay." See? Do you hear him?
Hi guys, it's me, Sam. Just and then that's it.
That's it.
It's,
Hey,
it's,
it's
I'm
me,
Sam,
Sam
it's
Schedule.
okay,
They're like, Lola Podcast has declined the charges.
Exactly. But seriously, it's been a really, really awesome journey, and yeah, I'm gonna miss this thing for sure.
Yeah, we appreciate everything you've done.
Thanks.
Dude,
That's all I have. It
That's
doesn't need to
huge.
get sentimental.
that's huge
I'll
praise
just
from
cry.
Alec. I mean, he's a Terminator. He doesn't have human emotions. If you tune into Twitch chat, he's wearing sunglasses right now. While
I
he's
felt they were
podcasting.
appropriate for the ending.
Yeah.
So you couldn't see my eyes sweating.
He's
'cause
in
Sam's
mourning.
leaving. Yeah.
Yeah, he's crying.
All right. So I guess with that, I will sign off by saying good night, Sam.
Dear God, that hurt.
It's not everybody. It's just you tonight, buddy. You earned that.
I feel special.
Now throw some dramatic piano on that.
Yeah, you've been doing that.
Oh, the dramatic
I've
piano.
been
No
using
one else
dramatic
can hear
piano.
but you.
Oh, the dramatic piano.
Love you, Sam. See you, dude.
Yeah, see you guys.
All right. Cutting off Zencaster.
All right, I'm leaving the Skype call. See you guys. I'll stay in the Discord.
Taking the sunglasses